bad thing about it, we lost our starting quarterback for the season.
Who are they?
In the first
Then the
quarter.
first, I don't know how he broke it, but broke a collarbone, bad, snapped it in two.
Who was that?
Caleb Fancher.
Caleb Fancher.
I
Yeah,
like that.
senior.
Sound like
Yeah.
the other one did good.
The other one was adequate.
He didn't do bad, I thought, to
But
get
he-
thrown in like that, right, without expecting it, he,
Yeah, he did a good job,
Hey.
come in and not expected to play that position at all, and not, well, they had a ball exchange problem time to the center.
The meeting is called to order. The invocation will be given by Ms. Jones, followed by the pledge by Mr. McMillan.
Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for this day that you've given us, Lord. And Lord, we just pray for those who have been impacted by the storms that have come through already. Lord, we pray for the safety of our students as they come and go from school on the school buses while they're in class. We pray for each employee that has contact with the Lord. We pray that you cover them throughout this pandemic. And Lord, we just thank you for all your many blessings. We thank you for this opportunity to serve on this board. And we just pray that you'll give us the wisdom and understanding to be able to vote on policies that are in the best interest of all those involved. In the name of Jesus we pray.
Attention, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all. Roll call, everybody's here. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion.
Second,
Like,
any discussion or question? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Need a motion to approve the minutes of the August 11th, 2020 meeting.
Make a motion.
Second,
sorry?
any discussion or question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Action consent. Approval of contracted services. Request to approve payment to Ashley Cash for knee therapy to provide physical therapy for students with special needs. August the 18th, 2020 through September the 30th, 2020. Payment of $70 for initial school evaluation, $70 per hour for student treatments, teacher consults, IEP meetings, screenings, and necessary documentation plus mileage not to exceed $3,000 to be made from IDEA funds. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion made, second.
Second.
Any discussion or question?
Is that for the entire year, or
Just-
for what, at 3,000 max?
Through September 2020.
Okay.
So second been made, yeah, Ms. Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Request to approve the following tour concessions for West Monson High School, West Monson Middle, B-Team, and/or youth football games. Payment will be made from WBHS local school funds. Concession stand manager, Howard George. Taylor. Yeah, God, it looked funny. Taylor George, $150 per game. Concession stand worker, cook, Natalie Anderson, $60 per game. Laura Smith, $60 per game. Concession stand worker, Jashanti Ramsey, $45 per game. Kenzie Nelson, $45 per game. Bradley Lancien, $45 per game. Heather Lancien, $45 per game. Caleb Person, $45 per game. To hear motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Sir,
Any discussion or question?
one small point to make.
Yes, sir.
Not a point, just show you how far we're coming. I know things have changed. But we used to,
Volunteer, I know what you want to say.
well, I tell you what, concession stand, the home ec teacher fixed the concession items.
Why?
Her girls got credit, I imagine extra credit for helping her. And, anybody else that's volunteered. All items sold was clear profit. But it is what it is.
That's what we did that till a couple of years ago. Parents would do a schedule and booster parents would
I was gonna
volunteer.
ask, is this the same, gonna be the same here? Y'all lucky enough to,
I don't. Mega boosters do it here, and then I know we did, you know, when our kids were playing, we volunteered running concessions in basketball. Now football, the band boosters do football. But we always volunteered to do basketball.
like I say,
Wow,
that's what it's come to, so.
that's pretty good money too.
Yeah, that ain't bad,
Not bad at all.
no. Better than picking cotton.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Request to approve payment to Glenda Fagreer to provide services to special ed students with hearing impairments and consultation with special ed teachers, August the 24th, 2020 through September 30th, 2020. Payment of $40 per hour, not to exceed $2,000 to be made from IDA funds. Your motion.
I make that motion.
Second. Any discussion or question?
I'll say, you see these go through September, that's part of, working with the current year. Some of these contracts, I'm not saying they automatically will, but you may see some of them later on again, and that's because it's a new school year, so, new fiscal year, so.
Okay.
A lot of these with special needs students is catching up and trying to get services that were missed out in April, May, and June into the summer. So just a heads up, you may see some of these contracts up in an upcoming board meeting, and that's why these just run through September 30th.
Okay. Did we vote on that? We did, didn't
I've got a motion in a second.
we? Any discussion, questions on that? We did discussion, All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request to approve payment to David Fondren Quality Services to clean the home side football stadium bleachers, Bibb County High School. Payment of $675 to be made from BCHS and local funds. Your motion.
Make the motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion or question? I'll say that David, I've known him for a long time, he does a good job, came and did our house, we got a cedar sided house. And he's got it's called a soft pressure wash. He does an exceptional job.
Is that a one-time thing?
Well, yes, well, I guess. I
Yeah,
guess-
They won't do it before every game?
No.
Oh, no.
Just-
It's got it's the, what do you call it, mixed with Clorox or whatever the chemicals are. But, they our house look like a new house.
It cleans those, that concrete.
Yes, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approval of bids. Request to approve bid 19-2014 for locksmith type work at 4 of our school campuses: West Blockton Middle, Bibb County Career Academy, Brent Elementary, and Randolph Elementary Schools. Crystal Keys Locksmith in the amount of $54,065.26. Your motion. Second.
Sorry.
Any discussion or questions?
Is that, what, door locks? Front door, back door, side door, teachers, hallway doors, and that kind of thing?
It is,
Every,
we started, actually, year before last, I think, with Centerville Middle, and then got West Blockton Elementary, new keyed out, and part of West Blockton Middle. This should finish West Blockton Middle and work on these other campuses, but it's door locks.
have we gotten to a
After-
point where we just had,
Well, I mean, some are cases where keys, locks are worn out. Some teachers have had keys broken off in their door and couldn't lock it or unlock it.
They putting in new cylinders, there'll be new keys and all.
Yes,
all
sir.
that. Do we vote on
all in favor?
it?
Any opposed? All right, approve purchases of new device insurance warranty. Approve the purchase of device insurance extended warranty from Security. Total cost for 3 years of coverage, $114,840. This will be paid from gear funds. So what is this? What is
Now,
it?
what is the Boston?
We've got 2,310 new Chromebooks.
Oh, the Chromebook.
They arrived, had half of them arrived last Tuesday, half of them last Thursday. Those have all been assigned and dispersed out to the schools as of yesterday. I finished that up, we finished that up. And with those new devices, with the funding, you can't charge a fee for those devices. So we're purchasing the warranty, and that covers absolutely anything, just outside of vandalism and intentional damage. Accidental breakage, loss with a police report, accidental damage, it's all covered with a $25 deductible. So, and this is 3 years of service, so everything will be covered for the next 3 years on those new devices. We won't have anything to worry about with it.
Good. All right.
That is federal funds, those gear funds are federal funds.
Gear funds, federal funds, okay. This will be paid from gear funds. Need a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? West Blockton High School Athletic Field Lighting Project. Superintendent recommends approval of the field lighting project for West Blockton High School to be managed by Gunn and Associates, PC Consulting Engineers. This proposal includes electrical engineering, drawings, and specs for WBHS football, softball, and baseball field lighting. Total estimated range project cost is $610,000 to $650,000, with an electrical engineering fee of $34,160. And this is total LED, new
Poles,
poles,
everything.
everything. Need a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, second.
Sorry.
Any discussion or questions? And this is like the equivalent of college.
It is the cutting edge for field and lighting technology. It's LED lights, but this includes new poles, the lights, everything for the football, baseball, and softball field there at Westmore.
When will it be?
Musco Lighting
Musco Lighting.
is, they're one of the top, lighting, vendors around. They, there are a lot of school systems and colleges now that are redoing their field lights. It'll be more efficient, energy efficient, because it's LED lighting. You never have that worry of somebody accidentally cutting the lights off and having to wait 20 minutes for, before you can get the lights back on with LED lighting. But this is something that we've talked with Mr. Lawley about, and this is one of the projects that he'd like to get done in the school. And I don't know if he's talked to you, Mr. Moody, about it or not, but he's
Yeah,
anxious to
Yeah.
anxious to get going.
Really, and I love about it.
Okay.
I'm glad to see them get it, really, because those lights are dim, they're not good lights. And they've been there a long time. And you won't have to worry about the poles having to climb on any more rotten poles.
Mm.
I remember when we installed the lights that are up there now, and we had a couple of poles we had to replace, and they wouldn't climb them. They had to bring special equipment in. I mean,
Yeah.
the men wouldn't climb them, and I don't blame them, because woodpeckers had pecked holes in them. And I understand that, because that thing, they could have got up in it and snapped off on them, killed them. But these are steel poles.
And they're automated, it's an automated system too, so if there's something going on with the lights, it's computerized, we'll let them know. If they got a bulb that's messed up or something,
And it's,
notify
and
them.
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, it's a 25-year warranty
It is,
on all,
it's 25 years.
all of it,
Right.
25-year warranty.
That wouldn't include light burning out or anything, would it? Or would it?
I think
It's everything.
Because those LEDs
I
are
didn't, right.
long, it's amazing.
And what is, I was curious when I read, I hadn't heard this till I read, what is a ball track, special ball tracking device? I was wondering what they mean.
It's just
Anybody
so
know?
you can see the ball in the air better. It's,
But what is a ball tracking device?
Have you seen any,
I've
have you
never heard of
seen, have you seen any, golf on TV?
Oh,
Well,
yeah, I've seen it, but I'm
They
not
got,
an avid fan.
you got computer technology enough, if you're, videoing, you know videos for the kids do for college?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You can actually track the ball, it'll be a line from the quarterback to the receiver, for example, on the film.
On
and
the
it'll be
field,
highlighted.
this won't, you won't be able, it won't change anything live, naturally, would it?
no.
That's just for film.
It'll be easier to see the ball,
And what?
it'll be easier to see the ball, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for better lighting,
But that
definitely.
ball tracking is that's a new thing in sports. They're doing golf shots, hockey pucks, football. Like the kids send these recruiting videos off
Yeah.
for. And you can see the quarterback when he leaves his hand. You can see exactly where the ball goes and stuff like that. Pretty cool.
That won't be this season, we know. When
Not-
will it
not
start?
in-
Do you
not
know
in
when they
football.
start work, Mr. Lee?
I think that's, I'm not sure when they'll get started. I don't see why they couldn't get started on baseball or softball,
Now, right.
as soon as possible.
See, that might light up your house.
Football.
Be a long way with you. Be a long way. All in favor?
Might help me walking up that hill.
It will. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That's gonna be exciting to see.
Seeing snakes, but
Request to approve new contract with Fairbanks LLC. Superintendent recommends approval of the agreement with Tallahassee Board of Education to continue administering the Medicaid Administrative Claim Program and Direct Services Cost Report for 6 more years. Hear a motion.
make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion, questions?
Well,
We talked about it before.
Tallahassee City Schools that's the school system that the state has chosen to run all of this program through. But this is the This is the program where we get Medicaid reimbursements, and I couldn't tell you how many thousands of dollars we get each year.
About 200,000 a year.
Right. But, yeah, our employees, select employees have to track their time and what they're doing and who they're working with, but we get Medicaid reimbursement from it.
Who's the superintendent of that system now? You know?
At Tallahassee, I don't know. I don't know. I know Mike Battles is still down there
Right.
and his wife, but I don't know who the.
I was just wondering,
superintendent
was it the same superintendent tonight?
Yeah,
Came over
maybe,
here, you weren't here, it was Mr. Blake, wasn't
I think so.
it? He stood out there and bragged about taking
Taking a coat,
coach, you remember?
yeah.
Mike bragged about it. I mean, that was a lot of
I don't
nerve.
remember that.
And we hadn't released him yet. Of course, we hadn't seen that. Do you remember it?
I do remember.
I never seen anything like it. Most time you show a little more humility than that.
Yeah. He thought he was being funny, but
I think
It
you
was a sore
probably-
spot.
I guess you
I don't think
Didn't
that-
go over well with.
This
a lot
isn't
of
something we
people.
do every year. I think this is every 6 years or so that the state contracts with Fairbanks to do this. So after tonight, you may not see this again for another 6 years.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request to approve Palmer School e-finance plus system. Based on the recommendation of the CSFO, superintendent recommends approval of the agreements, and they're attached, with Power School Group LLC to provide financial software for the district. Your motion.
I make that motion.
Second,
I second.
any discussion or questions? This is that updated financial software that you said you were talking about.
Very automated software that will put us where we need to be in today's world with data recording for the public and the school system, board employees, whoever. It's all an automated system that will flow. There's no carrying paper here or there. It's computerized.
Good deal.
So we did a demo, and I pulled, of course, all the staff up here and a representation of bookkeepers. And, the feedback I got from all was very positive, so I wouldn't tackle this unless I had buy-in from bookkeepers and the staff up here, so they're excited about it, so we're gonna move in that direction.
Good deal. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Personnel action. Superintendent, based on the recommendation of the local school principal, has made the following reassignments for the 2021 school year. Centerville Middle, Lauren Barnes, 1/2 counselor, 1/2 PE teacher to full-time counselor. That's just, I guess, notification. Request to approve the transfer of Angie Coke, parapro, from West Blockton Elementary School to West Blockton Middle for the 2021 school year. Your motion.
I make that motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request to approve the employment of Janet Jones as counselor, Centerville Middle School, effective date pending release of current employer. Your motion?
Make a motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion or questions? Where's she now?
She's in Pelham, I think. Pelham City Schools, Pelham.
You're still in the Pelham Council. Good deal. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request to approve the employment of Crystal Butler, teacher, Woodstock Elementary, effective August 28, 2020. Your motion.
I make that motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request to approve Andrew Cox as assistant girls varsity basketball coach, West Blockton High School. Your motion.
I make that motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request to approve the following for after-school CAS programs at Brent Elementary and Bibb County High School. Brent Elementary tutor Angela Chesser, 25 per hour. Teacher's assistant Christy Pate Wyatt, $8.50 an hour. Kimberly Johnson, $8.50 an hour. Bibb County High School tutor Whitney Graham, $25 an hour. Hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion made, second.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approval of subs. Stephanie Ford, classroom sub. Hear a motion?
Make it motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next board meeting, September the 8th, 2020, at 5 PM. Everybody,
Forward.
huh?
Actually, the meeting's at 5, at 4 o'clock, we're gonna have a work session for the principals
To
to,
the September the 8th, 4 o'clock work.
work session
5
for board meeting at 5.
All right.
That's the day after Labor Day.
Everybody good with that? Yeah. It's just a preview. Y'all good with that? Superintendent remarks.
Yeah,
I see.
I had the remark there about the work session at 4 o'clock on that Tuesday. That's where we'll give each principal for somewhere 3 to 5 minutes at most to outline their school plan, ASIP plan, share their data with you. Hopefully, we can get through with that in 45, 50 minutes, take a quick break, and then come back and convene our regular meeting. I'll say, board members, that our teachers, school staff, our principals have done an outstanding job getting school open. It was a good, smooth open last Tuesday. Every school, I went into every school, and every principal said the same thing. It was remarkably quiet. Now, one of the reasons it was quiet is that there were upwards of 900 students or more who had chosen the virtual option. So we were about 900, or between 900 and 1,000 students that weren't in school on Tuesday. Another reason I think that's quiet, I think these masks keep the students quiet. A lot like me, I don't care what I do. I tend to not want to talk a lot if I've got a mask on. It's uncomfortable. My breath stinks, I guess, and I think those two things combined to keep it quiet on the first day. But I'll say things aren't just great, though. We're having a lot of issues with the school's PLP, the virtual offering platform. Our principals and our teachers are working extremely hard to understand this program, to learn it, to be able to work with the students and parents that are in the virtual option, and it's really been it's been frustrating. It has not worked the way that the state sort of led us to believe that it would work. We're still working on it. I'm meeting tomorrow morning with the elementary principals. Grades K through 6, it's just been difficult. Now, our 7th grade and up, we also have the program Ed Minimum that we've had for 5 years now, and not as many problems with our 7th through 12th grade teachers using Ed Minimum and Schoology. But I'll tell you, our kindergarten through 6th grade teachers are working extremely hard to try and make it work, and it's just not working the way that I think it is supposed to work. So we're working on it. Again, I can't say enough good things about our teachers trying every way they can to figure it out, and it's not just our school system. I've reached out to other superintendents in District 7 here, and they're all expressing the same concerns, especially with the elementary levels. So we're gonna meet on that tomorrow. We're gonna continue working on it. We've just about, I think we've got almost all of our virtual devices out to our virtual students. I think our traditional students that are in school, Mr. Lawler, would you say by the end of the day tomorrow, they should all be?
All but high school are out.
Okay.
And I was gonna start giving out the rest of the high school ones tomorrow, but we're still waiting on the permission forms,
Right.
from the parents.
So all virtual students have, if they don't have their device, it's because they haven't come to pick it up yet. But all of our virtual students should have their device. All of our traditional students, first grade through 8th grade, should have their device. And we'll hopefully try and finish up high school. That's a great thing. That's something that, I'm excited about, but it's hard to get excited and enjoy this great leap in technology that you've enabled our students to get because of the issues that our teachers are having with this new virtual system. But anyway, we're working hard on that. That's one, big area of concern that we have is trying to smooth out this virtual program for the parents that chose that. So we continue to work on that. We continue to ask our parents to be patient and understanding. I can tell you, and you can tell them when they call, our teachers are doing absolutely everything they know to do to try and get this rolled out. I don't know why it happens every year. About the time the first week of school rolls around, we have multiple air conditioning units that go out all over the county. It's not one school, it's not one or two schools, it's every school suddenly that school starts and compressors break, motors, fans. We are working on that. We've budgeted money, our advancement technology money, to replace a lot of these older units. We've already talked about the scope of work that Schneider Electric's doing at West Blockton High School. We've also budgeted, I'm putting Mr. Hagan on the spot, but do you know how much money we've budgeted for HVAC replacement throughout the county?
With the advancement in technology, it was over $200,000 that we budgeted. I've got a list on my desk, and, since I've been here, I've been trying to help Mr. Mills work through this maintenance of these, what I call deferred maintenance, because these units need to be replaced. And he's been trying to fix them. He hasn't had the resources, and I've tried to channel the resources to him to replace these units. Centerville Middle is one. I mean, they have a huge problem in one of those. We've got units at Brent. I think we've either got some at Woodstock that are on this list. We've got some at West Blockton Elementary that's on this list. And of course, West Blockton High School will all be taken care of with that Schneider contract. So we're working toward it, but it's just one of those things that it's been pushed down the road so far that it's going to take us a little time to get all of these issues, taken care of. But we're working on it hard. If we can get, and I'm not talking one or two units, I'm talking about like a whole wing of a school where we're replacing units on these things to try to get us back where we need to be with our HVAC units.
We contract a lot of work out to people. I think most of you know Terrell Nelson does a lot of work for our school system, and I hate to think of where we'd be without the contracted services that we get from Nelson. But we're not talking about changing out compressors like we've done over and over again. We're looking at replacing whole units. So we've got a plan, we've got it budgeted. It just can't happen overnight. And I know personally, in my house, when my air's not working in August, I'm like anybody else. I want it fixed yesterday. It's just, it doesn't work that way. There are only so many contractors that can do the work, but I want to tell you, we do have the layout, the capital layout for it, and we're working on that, to get those issues fixed. Otherwise, one last thing before we break for dinner before the District 2 meeting. I want to congratulate Mr. Mike Oakley for mayor's race, Mayor of Centerville. Mike was elected Tuesday as mayor of Centerville. That's going to create some more board action for this. Sadly, he is going to have to relinquish his spot on the Board of Education. That's a discussion and topic for another day, but I do want to congratulate Mr. Oakley for his election as mayor of Centerville. That being said, that's all of my remarks. We're going to get ready and set these tables up. We'll get set up for the Zoom meeting for District 2. Told some of you it's killing me not to be at one of our high school football games tonight, but this work, it is important. We've got to get this done. It's just the way with the weather coming in, and the opponent tonight for Bibb County, Fayette County, just wanted to really push to play this evening instead of tomorrow based on weather predictions, and I understand that. But we'll get everything set up and get ready for our District 2 as AASB meeting. Mr. Oakley, that's all I've got to say. I appreciate y'all coming in.
Good deal. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's bittersweet winning an election for something that, for your hometown, but leaving something that I've literally loved since 1998. And the more I've done it, the more I've loved it, the harder I've worked, the more I've learned. And like I always do, encourage people to get involved more and more with the association, because we've got a phenomenal association that helps us help ourselves. And one thing I'd like to say about the AC situation, and thank goodness we've got a good CSFO. And I think one of the reasons that we're in this situation now is because of deferred decisions. And y'all know what we're talking about, because Morris, you were the one hammering away on when are we going to get West Block Elementary, their AC. And that put us, and that put Bob in a position of having to play catch up. And so, but one thing I'd like to do, y'all, is, one thing that I've worked for years in public relations, you protect the brand, and our brand is the Bibb County School System. If we can get something out on our website, press release, whatever, to let them know that there is a plan, we've got budget, we're working towards this, where we're using local folks, and get it out there so you negate the thought or somebody jumping in saying, well, they're not doing anything. Because that's what people will think. If there's people put on Facebook, my classroom was 79 today.
I think it's probably because it's been going on for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And people are just,
Oh, yeah.
it's out again, what are we going to do?
No doubt. But I just think we could alleviate or cut that off if we come up with a neat press release saying, we're ahead of the game, this is already, we budgeted, the orders are in, this is what we're doing, don't worry, cavalry's coming, and we're using local folks, as much as we can, but,
We'll get Wes to work on it.
you know what I'm saying? I'd like to see that happen. Anything else? No good? Anything else? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion or question? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank y'all for coming tonight.